So here we are in Cardiff, underneath that fairy tale castle there. One of my favourite garden centres, been around for donkey's years. Lovely plants. This is Pughs in Cardiff. These hanging baskets have been absolutely fantastic through the summer. We're now into September, and very often the hanging baskets around this time of year start to dry out, they start to go over. The danger is then that people just kind of give up on them and they put them in the shed and leave it until next spring. What I want us to do today is to see if we can find some plants that are going to look nice in the autumn, the winter, the spring. Why not make that basket look really nice all year round? So let's go inside and have a look and see if we can find some nice looking plants this time of the year.
Fantastic. I'm totally in your hands and I'm really excited.
I like the sound of that. Let's go.
Okay. This is a massive garden centre, Roger, and there's a huge selection.
Fantastic. Hey, look at all this lovely colour.
Oh, look at this, Roger. This is absolutely stunning.
I love them. They're beautiful, hey. Lovely coloured flowers. You can see different types of foliage. That's the leaves to use. Beautiful. Look at the way that they just kind of sit above the dome of foliage there, and you can see all those lovely flower buds waiting to come. Should we take one with us?
Yes, let's do.
Okay, I'll get that one to you, look.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to roll my sleeves back. I can sense some potting coming on. Come and have a look at some of these, eh?
Okay. The range of colours is absolutely beautiful because they're so vibrant.
They are, yeah. And this is going to be flowering in the winter. In the middle of January, you can expect these guys still to be in flower then. Fantastic, it really lifts your spirit. And you know, look at those blue pansies there. If you can imagine with those yellow daffodils, the yellow and the blue work really well together. So maybe we should put some of those into contrast against the yellow daffs.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Roger.
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
As we walked in, there was a huge selection of hanging baskets, and I'd love you to tell me, where on earth do I start?
Yeah, good question. What I noticed was the ones that had almost sold out were the cheap and cheerful ones. You can understand that. The problem is the cheap ones often aren't that cheerful because they dry out more quickly, and if plants dry out, they die, which is why you see an awful lot of hanging baskets looking half dead in the spring. So we don't want that. We're going to go for a big basket.
Right.
Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. I'd rather have one big basket than half a dozen small ones, but just to put all your eggs in one basket literally in this case. So do we go for one that's got a liner in it already, or do we go for an empty one and put our own liner in?
What's the difference?
Okay, this is a very good liner in here, and that's fine. But what I want to do today is actually to plant some of those nice bulbs out through the sides of this hanging basket. Because when you look at a basket, very often it's hanging up. So what do you see? You see the bottom of the basket. So you could make holes in this and plant stuff out through the side, but it's just going to be easier. I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way today of planting a hanging basket that looks good from underneath as well as from on top.
Oh, what a lovely idea.
Sounds good, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
Okay, so where do I start?
First thing, we need to take one of these hooks off here, unclip the chain there so we've got access all the way around. Okay. We're going to use some of this moss that most garden centres will have. This is the old-fashioned way of lining a basket, and it's going to suit our purposes ideally today. So let's get a load in there.
Well, I have to admit, I've never seen a hanging basket with moss around it.
Okay, well let's give it a go, and I think you'll see, certainly next spring, you'll see the benefit of using moss, because we'll have those bulbs going out through the side, and when you see the daffodils coming into flower, your basket is going to stand out from your neighbour. So look, we're half full, and if you remember, we wanted to get that colour coming out through the sides, not just on the top. So this is where these bulbs come in.
Ah, our bulbs.
Yes,
our
yes. Our tete-a-tete, may we? So the idea is that we're going to plant him roughly like that. Okay, so that the roots there, where the base of the bulb is just inside the rim, and you can see where the flower shoot is going to come out through there, and as soon as it gets into the light, it'll start to come out, it'll kind of burst into leaf, and then you'll get the flower spikes coming up. So I want to put about half a dozen of those around the edge of the basket. Shall we do that?
Do we not need to peel off?
No.
Why not?
No. Well, basically, it's quite natural for those just to be there. They partly protect the bulb, and if they're not needed, they'll just rot down. And actually, you know, that's nature. That's fine. So the skins are there for a reason. We'll kind of evenly space them around the edge of the basket there. Try and get the nose of the bulb out through the side there.
So, by doing a hanging basket, how much compost would we use in a big packet?
Now that is a good question. Certainly compared to the peeling the bulbs question, that is a very good one. I reckon we've probably used, by the time we finished here, 25 litres, maybe a bit more, because I like to pack in a lot of compost. So yeah, don't underdo the compost. Better to kind of, you know, have plenty in there, and it won't dry out then. And you've got, this is the life support for the plants, basically. That's how I look at compost. It's life support for the plants.
So you really do need to pack them in there.
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. The next thing is to put some plants in there. So that cyclamen that we had from the front table there.
Oh, so stunning.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. I think we're going to put him somewhere near the centre, just about here. Okay, because I reckon that by spring that's going to be going backwards. Okay, so as that goes backwards, those daffodils that we put in the middle will come up through and take over. So the daffodils aren't going to flower in the winter, this guy will. So that's a nice centrepiece there.
So you just pop it in there, and then move the...
Just gently firm the compost around it. Get your fingers underneath the leaves there, and just make sure that the roots are in contact with the compost.
This really is a lovely pastime.
You're right. It's relaxing, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And there's a sense of kind of satisfaction, really. Are you getting that?
I am. Yeah? To be honest, I am. And I'm quite surprised. I really am. But I'm almost looking forwards as well to them growing and watching them evolve.
Well, that's the thing, is that every time then you walk in and out of the house, if this is by your front door, if you're a good girl, I might let you keep this basket, all right? And yeah, you can just watch it kind of fill out over the next few months. Because what we're going to do now, just to finish it off and stop the compost washing over the edges, I'm just going to fill around with a little bit of moss, just little kind of shreds of moss here around the plants, keeping them all separate, keeping them all in the basket and running off somewhere. And they'll all kind of nestle in together then.
Would this hanging basket need direct sunlight every day?
Good question. The more light they get, the more flowers you'll have. To be honest with you, the daffodils will flower in the shade or anything, you know, so there's not really a problem with the bulbs, but with these pansies, the more sunlight they get, the more flowers you'll have. They'll still live in the shade and you'll still get a few flowers, but yeah, the more light the better. Do you know what? I think we're almost there. You can imagine that now in about 4 or 5 months' time with those daffodils coming out as well.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
I think it's going to look absolutely stunning. And thank you so much for teaching me, Roger.
You're welcome. Yeah, let me know how it fills out in the spring.
I certainly will, Roger.
Email me a photo, yeah?
Will do.
Great, thanks for your help.
Thank you.